Welcome to Drizzle Land and welcome to your Bears report. So I watched the game last night, and first half really good play by the Bears. I was really impressed, honestly, keeping the tempo up. Offense looked great. Running game was spectacular. Howard was doing a wonderful job. Um, and the backup running backs were doing wonderful things. Allen Robinson was really picking it up, gaining lots of yards and great passes from Trubisky. Um, yeah, offensive line was really doing their job, honestly. I was pretty impressed. We had, I don't know, like 17 nothing lead, honestly, going into halftime. Um, and I was like, maybe this is a different team. Maybe we'll actually be able to beat the Packers. And then, wow. Uh, as a Bears fan, lifelong fan, it was not good in the second half. Um, Missed opportunities to put the Packers away when they were vulnerable. And I don't care what people say, saying, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is this wonderful, amazing player," and he was hurt. He was hurt going into the second half of the game. We had a total opportunity, honestly, to put them away when Kaiser was in. Because Kaiser looked horrible, honestly, for the Packers last night. I could not believe how horrible he played. Um, Smith played a great game. I was really impressed with him on defense. He did a wonderful job. He got to the quarterback. And my man, Khalil Mack, man. Seriously, that dude's wicked. I'm looking forward to watching him play for us. I think he's going to do a great job on defense for us. He played amazing last night. He really helped us out big time. He even got to Aaron Rodgers. So, I commend his play. He did a wonderful job, and I think he's going to be great for our defense going forward. So, but what I question, honestly, is I feel like as soon as Aaron Rodgers came back in the game, the referees were kind of not doing their job the way they should. Um, I don't know if it was because Aaron Rodgers was hurt and they were trying to protect him, or what, but I felt like some of the calls could have gone the opposite way. I don't agree with the touchdown call that was not reviewed, because my opinion, honestly, is he didn't have full possession of the ball when he was going down into the end zone. It looked like it was bobbled. Um, they should have reviewed that call in my experts. I don't know. Like I've watched football for many years, and I just couldn't believe that. I was like, wouldn't you at least review it one time to look at it to make sure that he had possession of it? Because when he was going down, he was bobbling the catch. So why was that called a touchdown when he obviously dropped it? So I don't know. I just think that they were really protecting Rodgers at the end of the game and not being very fair as far as calls are going. And that's fine NFL if you want to protect one of your star players or whatever, but not to that sense and accountability to the point to where it's affecting the actual gameplay. Um, so there was some questionable calls during that game that I don't know. As a Bears fan, I just didn't think it was right. Um, and I'm not blaming the defense in this situation in any form way. They played amazing last night. I was actually very impressed, and they should have won, honestly. Um, there's lots of good things going forward. I thought the offense showed a lot more capability of competing. We have some great players that are coming in who showed that they can average, 5, 10 to 16 yards catches down the field. Um, yeah, I just think that going forward, this is a positive, but at the same time, I think that we should have won this game. The Packers were not playing very good, and I feel like there were some bad calls during the game. And I feel like if those calls would have gone the opposite way, we probably would have ended up, winning the game. And Kyle Fuller, I think he really played a wonderful job for us. He did miss the opportunity to pick that off and take it for a touchdown. I think if he would have caught that, picked it off, and ran it back, we would have won because they would have not been able to have any opportunities down the road to score any more points. Um, but as a Bears fan, I think that this is something good going forward. I think that we can build on our play and the players that we have that are playing well. The rookies played amazing. I think Mac played a great game. So I'm not blaming the defense in any form of way. We did a great job against the Packers. But we need to pick it up though because with the Seahawks coming to Chicago, they're a high, fast-paced offense. Russell Wilson is always going to be good. You can't let him run in the pocket or throw those passes downfield. You can't let him run or scramble because he will beat you. We need to build on this. We can't allow the Seahawks to come into Soldier Field and beat us. We need to find a way to beat them and to get back on a good schedule here because we have lots of games in this season and we need to keep the energy and excitement going here for the Chicago fan base. But I'm not looking at this as a bad game. I'm looking at it as building on it, moving forward, and beating the Seahawks and showing that we are Chicago and we are back and we have talent now, and we're not just gonna let you blow us out. Um, and Mac, please play as hard as you can, like you did against the Packers, and I guarantee that we will beat the Seahawks. Because the Seahawks offensive line, um, you guys aren't very good. You didn't really show much against Denver. So I think that Seattle is not going to win that game in my honest opinion because they were not really able to do much against Denver. So I mean, and Denver's not really a very good team either. I mean, their defense is okay, but their offense is pretty bad. So I mean, um, so yeah, I'm really hoping and that forward that we can build on what we did against the Green Bay Packers last night. Again, there was some questionable things during the game that I think that the NFL needs to go back and review and watch. Um, yeah, I just think there were some bad calls, honestly, that really should have never happened. And as a Bears fan, I think that this is a good point of moving forward and just really building on the talent we have and trying to develop this team. Um, I didn't think Trubisky played too bad. I felt like he is getting better, especially with the new system. He shows that he's getting those turnovers down. He hasn't really done anything to really harm the team on offense. Yes, the last play of the game he did screw up a little bit, but um, again, he's a younger quarterback. This is the first time he's been, starting at a rival, and especially a big game like that. I mean, that's his first experience playing, in Green Bay at Lambeau, and I felt like he did a really good job, honestly. He didn't turn the ball over. He was throwing the deep ball down the field. Um, the only thing that I'm questioning is I think that we need to have more energy going into the second half of games. Like we need to keep building on what we do in the first half into the fourth quarter so that we can continue to play like that to win games. Because if you just do play like that in the first half and don't play like that in the second half, then you're not really going to achieve anything. Um, but I am happy that we have the players that we have, that we went out and got. They played great last night. But we need to get some of the younger receivers more involved, and the running backs a little bit more on some screen plays, because we had success with that last night. We've proven that we can run against the Packers defense. They were pretty bad. Um, so yeah, I feel like we should have won that game. I just think that there's some bad calls down the road, and especially third and fourth quarter. Um, so NFL, just be aware that these games need to be reviewed, um, so that we can go forward, and have a great season. And just be aware that some calls could have not been called. I think that there was just some bad penalties and some bad calls in general this past Sunday in a lot of the games where things just didn't need to be happening like that. Really stupid penalties that should have never been called in a lot of the games. So overall, the next game, I think that we will play better, and I think we'll have every opportunity in the world to beat the Seahawks, honestly, because they are kind of in a rebuild year, and I think that we have a better team than their team, in so many ways, and I think that we're going to end up defeating them and getting back on the right track and be 1-1. So, and remember, the Packers play the Vikings, and the Vikings looked really good. So, they're going to have a really rough game against them because they're a good team. And so we don't know what's going to happen in that. But um, yeah, I think that this is a great first game. I think that they show that they can compete against other teams in that division, and we'll have to see what happens down the road. But I think that we show that we can play. So. Okay, this is the Drizzle Bear Report, and I will be doing this every game this year. Um, and yeah, Bears down, go Bears.